Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I was talking to my next guest here, and I hope you didn't hear anything inappropriate. No, I'm pretty sure you didn't. We are pleased to have joining us on the set now Josh Harris and Tracy Taylor, and they are with the archery group here in Tullahoma. Tracy is the owner of Taylor's Archery in Tullahoma, and Josh is with the Tullahoma Educational System, which now has a archery program, I believe.
Well, I don't do it for the city. I do it through Tracy's shop.
I see.
We do it
Okay,
privately.
got you. Okay, so archery is kind of a relatively new thing, at least for you guys have been doing this for about how long now?
We've been doing it I've been doing it with Tracy since 2015.
Okay, yeah. So, and it kind of appears that you guys have done pretty doggone well at that over the years, because you jumped right into that program and got kids interested in archery, and they are competing rather well and have from the start.
Yep. We originally, when we started back in 2015, I think I had maybe 7 kids on the archery team, and we took 4 of those kids to the state tournament, and we did very well. We always seemed to, when it comes to team points, we were a little bit behind because we just didn't have the numbers. And then when we opened it up to Franklin County area and the surrounding area, we were able to fill up, and we got 48 shooters signed up this year.
That's unbelievable. That's a long way from that 7 that you started with. Tracy, how did you get involved in archery?
I started bow hunting years ago, and it just took off from there. This is year 31 actually in the archery business.
31 years.
31. I know I don't look that old. But.
Right. No, you don't. You don't. And I guess you hunted as well, Josh. I know you hunted. So
I got started late, but once I bow hunted and got my first deer, I was hooked.
Yeah.
So.
So you've actually killed a deer with a bow? Mm-hmm. Unreal. Several?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd say you kind of have to know what you're doing to be able to do that.
It helps.
Right.
You can get lucky, but I don't want to rely on luck. I'd rather rely on my skill.
You know, you talked about how the program grew, and obviously you've done well in competition, but what does it take for a young person to get good at this? Is it like anything else? You've got to practice?
You've got to put the time in, and there's not a substitute for that. I tell my kids every day that we come to archery practice, they put forth the effort that's needed, but the ones that really stand out and do well typically are those that not only practice the day that I have practice, but we had several in there last night that were shooting, and they won this past weekend. Mm-hmm. But they also know that everybody else is getting better. They're going to have to get better. So they're in there practicing 3, 4, 5 days a week and practicing at home too. That's what it takes to get better. But you also have to be coachable. You got to be able to listen and do what we're asking you to do. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying I know everything there is to know about archery, but if the kids will listen to us, and the younger we get them, the more the likelihood that when they get old enough to compete for scholarship money, they're going to get scholarship money.
There's scholarship money out there for this, correct?
Yeah.
A lot.
What's the highest we've had graduate?
We've had, I know, 2 different students or 2 different archers that have graduated, and their senior year, I think both of them got over $150,000 in scholarships.
I had no idea. That this was that big.
Corey was like 300 and something thousand.
It might have been.
Yeah.
I know they were well over 150,000.
And how many kids do you have involved in the program right now?
We got 48.
And we're looking at some video here that kind of snuck in there on us. What are we looking at there?
We are looking at the bail assignments. Archers getting ready. This is a warm-up practice flight. They get 2 practice flights, and then they start the scoring ends. Mm-hmm. They have a total of 6 scoring ends. They'll shoot 3 on top, 3 on bottom, and they can get, the top score would be 150. And the total number of X count would be 20 or 30. Sorry, but they do. They shoot 5 arrows per flight, and they do 6 flights.
And where was this tournament held?
This tournament was held at Tullahoma High School, and we are so grateful and blessed that we got lucky enough to hold it there. It was a goal of mine ever since I started back in 2015. I wanted to host a tournament at Tullahoma High School. I wanted people to see Tullahoma,
I would
my
have.
hometown.
Yeah, I would love to have it there every year, man. It was just the best venue we ever had.
And the amount of people that were there, we had over 200 archers. I think it was like 205, somewhere around 204. And we had, they had parents, grandparents coming. I had Coach Robinson at West. He was doing the concessions, raised, I think, $500 for the basketball program there. It was just, looking around, it's just amazing to watch everybody working together. Everybody's happy, everybody's smiling. Just the support we got and the compliments on the facility there, the custodial staff. Big thank you to Jason Quick and the administration team, because I know Derek Crutchfield came up there and watched them. Renee Flowers come up there and watched them. Cindy Herrera come up there and watched some of the kids. It was just, and I did that to put a little bit of stress on them to get them ready for state, because we got state coming up this weekend.
Some of these kids are pretty young.
Yes, they are. We got them on our team. I know my daughter right there, and that's Madison Davis beside her. Riley started when she was 5. Now my son, at 5, he wasn't quite mature enough, so I waited till he was 7. But we got them ranging from ages 5 to 18. You got shooting.
I know that as you grew up, that you were pretty competitive and just about
Absolutely.
About everything. I see that is kind of spilled over into the archery thing. Winning
is good, but I want to dominate.
Yeah.
In everything we do, I want first, second, third on podium. That's a goal of mine. But like I mentioned earlier, goals. It was my goal to have a tournament at Tullahoma High School. And my other goal that we accomplished that weekend is in all 4 different age groups, they compete as an individual, but they also compete as a team. And we got first place team-wise in all 4 age divisions.
You was pretty satisfied with that?
That's a big deal.
That's pretty dominating.
Tracy,
I enjoyed it.
You mentioned you guys run that out of your business up there, Taylor's Archery. So, is that where the guys and girls practice?
That's where we practice our indoor practices, and we've also got a piece of AEDC leased for an outdoor range where we do our outdoor practices. Because it's a different type of archery.
What kind of time commitment is a kid making when he gets into this archery thing? How much time does it take?
9.5 months.
Yeah.
Really?
When you think about indoor and 3D, it's 9.5 months.
Right.
Time frame.
So they got to be pretty dedicated to
Absolutely.
be able to continue to do this and practice and get it.
And that's part of it too. I mean, I'm like Josh, I love to win, but we're teaching them more than just the competition side of it. It's respect and attitude and stuff that they can use, after they graduate, when they're raising kids, when they're working for someone or running their own business. And Josh does a fantastic job.
So the things they learn doing the archery program are things that help them in real life. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, they'll fail on the line, and there's tears rolling, but they come back and take care of business. They face adversity. It's like any other sport. It teaches them how to deal with things later in life.
You mentioned you got a tournament coming up soon.
We got state this weekend.
State this weekend.
It's going to be held at Calsonic Arena in Shelbyville.
Yeah. Okay. You've been there a time or two, haven't you?
Yeah. I've been there.
Yeah. So, are you excited about your chances to win there?
Yes, absolutely. And I feel like, and I saw me and Tracy were talking the other night, if our kids will go in there and enjoy what they did, and we can keep moving forward off of the momentum we had this weekend, we will do very well at the state tournament.
Okay.
Because even though we won in the first place in all age groups, our best archery is in front of us. And that's my goal, is for us to peak at the right time. That's the challenge. It is, like as a coach, to get them to peak at the right time. And we have made progress, and you watch their scores from one region to another. And I use that data to determine where we're at and how are we going to do if the kids compete like I know they're capable of doing.
It's just a matter of time till you guys will be making $10 million a piece, just
I
like
wish.
the football coach is correct.
That's what we already do.
Oh, okay. But you're having fun and you're really enjoying it.
Having a ball.
And you got to believe that it's really good for the kids. Real quick, how does a kid get involved in it? They just call your store?
Come by Taylor's Archery.
Yeah.
We can give them the information.
And probably the equipment and stuff they need, you guys can
Absolutely.
can arrange that for you. Right? Well, congratulations on a big win. Good
you.
luck on this weekend. With your attitude, I'd be betting on you. So, thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks for the opportunity.
We'll be right back, folks, right after this.